You're fine. That's a view of the world today, my world today. Now I've got to have a slight caveat, right, by the way, and that is that I'm slightly about this thing overheating. No, that's going to create any weird stuff, apart from the fact that if it does overheat, I might suddenly disappear. So we've got two choices. If we suddenly go quiet, and either Davis hit a bus, which is not be good for me, or the phone's overheated and it's shut down, which is not good for you. Which is understandable because the way that I've placed the phone on the dashboard means that, first of all, it's not obscuring my vision. I can see everything perfect without any problems. But it does mean that it's overheating quite crazily. Now what I've tried to do is turn the AC up, so it's just rising up all the way through, which should hopefully calm down the phone. But that's the one thing that Steve Jobs didn't work on. Cooling down iPhones. Goodness me, he's ruined it for me and you. Bless him. So what I want to talk today about is motivation. And I feel like I've got a hangover, and I've not been drinking. I just feel tired hangover. Have you ever had them before? I've got the AC flu, which doesn't mean anything about air conditioning flu. Whatever you're going through your head, no, I've not experimented. But when you live out here in Summers Hunts, because it's so super hot outside all the time, you end up going from AC to AC. So you go from an air-conditioned car to an air-conditioned building, and back outside again, air-conditioned shopping centre, wherever it is. But in between you go hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Now the hot is extremely hot, and the cold is extremely cold. And at some point along the line, you go, achoo! And that's it. You get this flu, this lurgy. And you know that milk moustache that we use for advertising? Yours is a snotty one. Sorry, if you're having breakfast. I apologise straight away. So, today let's talk about motivation. And I'm going to struggle through my AC flu. Because I had to think about it this morning. Ridiculous thing. Why do you get up at 7? Why do you get like 7 o'clock or 6:30 like everybody else? Well, first of all, I don't get a chance to spend any time with my daughter. My daughter gets up, I get her ready for school with the wife. And then I drop off at school and I get back late from work, so I don't usually get to tuck her in at night. So I have to see her early in the morning. That's our special time. So therefore I get up at 4 o'clock because I don't want the grumpy me to be the one that deals with Maya. Because I'm the most horrible person first thing in the morning, like everybody else. You have time to brush your teeth, have a coffee, just couldn't get it opened. Don't know why. I spend 15 to 20 minutes every morning in the gym. I know if you're a gym instructor you're going to say, that's not enough, Dave, that's why you're still fat. Yeah, I am still fat, but I'm also fit fat. Do you know what I mean? I've got about middle-aged paunch, but the rest of it looks like Rocky. Man, your Rocky's about 70, so that's not exactly the most impressive example of how it should. Anyway, I really couldn't be bothered. I really didn't want to go on the roof because of the simple fact that you go up there, I've got this constant battle with the crows. Have I told you about this before? If you just join me, I'll just quickly tell you. The crows that live around my house, dead birds and stuff on the roof, they've actually made that their feeding ground. And so when I go up to work out and do some exercise on the roof, sometimes they dive bomb me and try and kill me. So that's the crows on the roof scenario. I'm not joking, honestly. Or maybe not try and kill me, I don't like have a gun, but they dive bomb my hair. At first I thought they were trying to eat worms, which is fair enough. But then I realised that they were just doing it all the time and going, arr, 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 or whatever noise. I mean, that sounds like a dog. That's not the noise I make. So I didn't want to go on the roof because I couldn't be bothered to confront the crows, and also I found my arms and legs weren't working very well because I was just tired. But then again I had to think about it. I thought, well, hold on, if you take a day off, then you're going to kill your routine. Especially when you go to the gym. You can take a day off, but then you have to catch up with it later on. If you leave it for too long, then before you know it, you end up with not going to the gym at all. And that becomes far too convenient to be able to do it like that. So I've decided that whatever happens, unless I've got a broken leg, in which case I can't get up the stairs to the roof, I'm going to force myself to go along and do a little bit of workout. So there we are. By the way, if you send me a message, I love it, but if it's in Arabic, I can't see it, unless you said hello, in which case, there you go. I don't speak Arabic or read it, but I do appreciate you being here, unless you said, I will kill you, or I don't like you very much, or I don't like your hair, or get it cut, or your tash looks silly, or you got too much grey. Possibly all true. So, motivation and mindset. You've got to have consistency. Most important thing is get yourself out of bed every single day. Oh, thank you. That's much better. So you've got to basically put every single day what you're going to do and map it out and stick to it. It's like running a marathon. You don't have to run a marathon in one go. You just have to put one step in front of the other and repeat. So get your simple system, look through those goals after you've had a sleep and decide how many of them are still relevant. Now the thing is about getting stuff done is you can't get everything done in one go. Multitasking doesn't really exist. I know some people say, yeah, I'm very good at doing it, but at the very, very best, they're still choosing what they prioritize as things to work through. If you're a bloke or you're like me, you can only do one thing at a time. Talking or driving, you make a choice. So, if you're a guy, generally, you can't do any of that stuff. You just got to put a list together that still works, that relevant list, and you work your way down. And as Dr. Stephen Covey says, I think it is in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, if you were working at an airport, how do you land planes? Well, ultimately, one at a time. There's one runway for each plane, so you be ultra careful how you do it. Same is true for getting motivated. So what is it that makes me motivated? What makes me get out of bed? And it's not because I'm incontinent. Mind you, that might not even change, at least be warm. What gets me out of bed? Well, very simple. I decided to become an old dad. I won't tell you how old I am. You can have a guess. I'll tell you if you're right. No, 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 no. If you are right, I'll probably still say no. Well, very simply, I had a kid. Not physically, because that would be worldwide news. But when I decided to have Maya, who's now 5, I realised that, hold on, you're going to be that old dad. And what I didn't want to be was, you know, when you're a kid and you're growing up, and somebody always had an old dad that arrived at school, and everyone was going, oh, is that your granddad? That's really nice the way he brings you to school. And it's not, it's the dad. Well, nowadays, lifestyles have changed, and people are having kids a lot later in life because they've got a career, or they decide to settle down later. So there's a lot more dads my age than possibly there were before. What would normally be is granddads. But you marry late and you have kids relatively later on in life, and it's up to you. It's your job to make sure that you're around long enough to make sure your kids can grow up and have the same opportunities as you. I mean, look at Michael Douglas. So it's your duty to make sure that you're there, and part of it is fitness. I'm not a fitness instructor, I'm not a fitness guru, I have no interest in anything apart from my own fitness. My own fitness regime is very simple. I go on a roof and I do about 20 minutes of CrossFit. I've got to be very careful about my knees. I got the worst injury in the world, I realised yesterday, because I went up to the roof and I thought my knees are hurting. I'll take it easy on my knees because I'm old. Do you know what it is? You know what my knee injury is? Traffic, clutch control. Sitting in the car and moving my knees over long periods of time every day. That's how I've got them sore and almost injured. That's rubbish. It's a rubbish injury to have. It's like when somebody says, oh, I've got a cold. Well, I just did that earlier. You know what I mean? When you just go, no sympathy for you. Well, I've got rubbish knees. So I'm going to tell people I've been training for a marathon. And they say, why are you walking funny? Are you incontinent? No, I've been training for a marathon and that's why I'm walking funny. I'm not going to tell anybody apart from you that, just driving and being old for long periods of time isn't very good. So when you got your motivation, you put it together. So mine is very simple. I want to make sure that I'm fit enough for Maya. I want to make sure she's got the best opportunities that I had. My mum and dad, who blessed me, I'm so grateful that they're still with us. Not in the car, because that'd be creepy. Mom, wake up! No, none of that. In the UK. Mum and dad gave me the best chances, school-wise and artist-wise, and my mum used to carry my guitar, if I'd left it, all the way to school. And that was a fair old distance, because in those days I didn't have a car. It was more like Flintstone days. And to my ultimate forever shame, out of bed. What is going to force you to get out of bed? Maybe it's career, maybe it's just for you. If you find those things aren't strong enough and you're still grumpy every day, you've got to find something else. Maybe the motivation isn't you. Maybe it's to make the world a better place. Maybe it's just to be really, really selfish and have more fun. But whatever it is, it's got to drive you. Usually a higher purpose is best. Have you got a charity? Have you got something you want to change around the world? Have you got a group of people that could do with your help and you want to get to a position where you can help them? Whatever it is, that should be your reason for jumping out of bed. And then don't go back to bed. That alarm is so crucial. When it goes off, the minute I hear it, I've got one foot out the bed already. Because if I don't do that and I switch it off, I'll pull both legs back in and I'll be zedding and I've missed everything. So you've got to be consistent, force yourself to do it, and then it becomes relatively easy. So, getting out of bed, that's easily done. What about getting into bed? Well, hey, I know what you're thinking, a bit of Nescafe 3-in-1. Yeah, I'm taking a glass of milk or something. That's if they have a fridge and have a glass of milk. You can program that in, but you can only program it to a certain degree. That's why the CIA and FBI and everybody, they've all played with mind control. There's only certain things you can guarantee because everybody's completely different. But you can do some pretty strange stuff. Tell you what you should do. today, because I'm going to sign off in a minute because the phone's going to get overheated. Go and have a look at some of my hypnosis stuff. My channel on YouTube is Hypno Coach. Swan, I'm meeting her later on to do an interview, and hopefully a few other people. I'll share them with you on a new season of Turbo, and you'll get to see some really cool people, and that's just the beginning of a season. So that's it for me. I'm going to concentrate on my traffic. Lots of love, be crazy, and goodbye. How do I switch this thing off? How do I switch off Periscope? It's really hard to Google it when you're driving. I'll just shut it down like that. Bye.